So, Haiti. Yeah, quite an interesting country, really. Riddled by poverty and gang violence. On the Takes up one third the whole island of Hispaniola. It's a pretty interesting country. Actually, I've researched it for quite a while, like maybe a year at this point or something. It's been a while, but today I'm going to show you something a little different. Now, before I start, I'm going to give you some context. So, I'm doing this for an ELA project, in case you didn't see by the thumbnail or title or any of that. But just so you know, the music right now that's playing is by Tom Fox. He is primarily used for Johnny Harris videos. I will link that in the description, and I'll also link all my sources that I got the information from in the description. Now, there's a lot of them, and I reference a bit from each other, a bit from each of them. So, anyways, with that out of the way, let's let you enjoy the video. So, this project, its purpose is to realize how light, the metaphorical meaning, relates to Haiti, nowadays and in the past. But to understand that fully, we need to go back through a little bit of history. Nothing crazy. So first, a long, long time ago, there were the French, and the French were the original colonizers of Haiti. Now, sure, the Spanish came before, but they didn't actually colonize it at all. That's during the Columbus voyages. But the French actually started setting up plantations as the Spanish got the other side of the island, which is now Dominican Republic, other side of Hispaniola. So the French went ahead and put a whole lot of slaves there because Haiti was very, very, very irritable, very, very great farming land. So what happened is the ratio of Haitian slaves, or imported slaves to the Europeans who were working there, the French, was 10 to 1. Every 10 slaves for every 1 European person. That's crazy. And so, there wasn't really... There was a whole lot of people there. A whole lot of slaves there. So, these slaves really did not like being in slavery. Their conditions that they were living in were unbearable. They were horrible, and I'm going to spare you from the details, but they were really bad. And so, long story short, they rebelled, and this was led by Toussaint Louverture. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he was, the best way I can explain him, he was the George Washington of Haiti, if that makes sense. So anyways, then after Haiti went ahead and rebelled from the French and gained their independence, the French really didn't like this because they saw, wait, this can give hope to other enslaved people, right? So it's not very good. This would, from their perspective, spike more rebellions around the world. After this, probably one of the worst events, not just the worst events, happened in Haiti's history. And this is from my research, this is what I've concluded here. So, to understand why Haiti is in such a predicament nowadays, we have to understand its double debt. So, after Haiti gained its independence, the French pulled into the harbor of Port-au-Prince and said, hey, so we have a bunch of warships behind you, so we're going to give you a choice. Either we blast our cannons, destroying a lot of your capital, or you pay us $21 billion. That's in today's money as of 2024. Or wait, oh, 2025 actually. Well, that's nice. And then we will recognize you as a country and we will let these warships go. So it was pretty much pay to live at that point. So Haiti paid it. They really didn't have a choice. Well, it did have a choice, but the other option was getting, well, massacred. So they paid the money. But they couldn't afford that, so they had to take out loans from French banks. So they did that. But then they still couldn't afford it, so they had to take out more loans to pay off those loans. And so they kept doing that over and over and over again, and the debt kept accumulating. It never went away. It kept growing and growing, and up until recently. And then the French abolished it. So, wow, that is why Haiti has been so poor recently. But, well, what effects has it had on the country? Now, some are obvious, but some might not be as obvious. I'll get to that. Now I've gotten past the boring part. Now I've gotten the part you probably came for. So, we're going to talk about what happened when the DOC regime took over. So, this was in the early 90s and lasted, well, actually quite a while, actually. It lasted until 1991, or it lasted around that time. And there was a person named Papa Doc. Now, the U.S. placed him in charge after the U.S. Got rid of the Haitian territory. And they did this because they really just couldn't manage it. So, what happened is Papa Doc took over. Papa Doc de Valier is what he was called. That's what his name was. And, well, he had this secret army. It's called the Tom Tom Coup. Think of it like the SS Waffen. So, like, for example, in World War II, there was the German military, but the SS Waffen was Hitler's soldiers. So the Tom Tom Coup was Papa Doc soldiers. And whenever Papa Doc died, he handed them to his son, Baby Doc. What a creative name. Well, Baby Doc de Valier, yes. And so this regime was not great to live under. And in fact, the regime was so not great to live under, yeah, great grammar, that by 1971, more than 13 years after he assumed power, he had really not changed the government for the best. He actually did very little to change it for the best. And in fact, it was so bad that almost 90% of the Haitian population was illiterate. 90%. And in Haiti, actually I'll explain that later, but in Haiti, you need to be literate to be able to live a life, because a lot of jobs require you to write and read. And more on that later. I'll get to that. But yeah, and malnutrition and tuberculosis, there we go, were very, very common. It was horrible to be under. And Baby Doc, well, he grew up living in luxury. Think of him like the rich kid, right? Like the rich kid. And he grew up with everything, and then whenever his dad died, well, now he's in control of the country. I think you get the point. Not much changed. Until, as you can probably guess, well, the Haitian people really did not like this at all. In fact, they hated this problem with the Tom Tom Coup, and the problem with the de Valier family and the Docs. So, I'm guessing you can see where this is going. There was a rebellion, a coup, and there was a really big coup. It was a military coup, and the country was, well, there was no clear leader. It was really not great. So, what happened? Well, so there wasn't a president or really any elected official for quite a while. And then came someone else. Well, I'm going to spend the the rest of the video talking about, because this is probably the single most important person. And let's see if everyone else is this right. His name was Jean Bernard Aristide. Now, whenever I was researching for this video, this project, I stumbled upon this book that my dad actually gave me. It was called Eyes of the Heart, which was actually written by Jean Bernard Aristide. And it was written after a presidency, and it's actually pretty good. It gives you a point of view from, well, his point of view from his presidency, and it gives a lot of great information about all this. So enough with that. So Aristide was, he was born in 1953, and he was born in a small town called Port Salut, which is on the southern peninsula of Haiti. So it was a peninsula on a peninsula in the very southwest part of Haiti. And he, at least from research I've done, and my dad also agrees with this, he was probably one of the very few people in Haiti's history, so I can say that was really a good person. An example of this being that he wanted to help, specifically people in poverty. His whole goal was to help people in poverty in Haiti because he viewed them as his family. And you can see this in his book by when he mentions the chapter, the Water of Life, I think it's called. And he mentions how when he was young, he had a swimming pool in his backyard. But not many people in Haiti have swimming pools, because only 30% of the entire population have access to clean water. And so having swimming pools, having this big source of water, seems like only the elite would have it. And so Aristide would invite friends and people from the village over to his house and to go swim in his pool. And it really built a feeling of community because, well, they're all swimming in a big pool. And Aristide describes Haiti as being one big pool. He wants to invite everyone in it to make it better. But sometimes some people don't make it better because, well, the elite of Haiti at the time, of course they had pools. They were rich. Of course they could afford it. And they were worried about Aristide doing this. And when I say the elite, I'm currently talking about the Duvalier people and the Duvalier regime. That's who I'm talking about specifically. Because how come these people that haven't, in their mind, are just still low level, and as they are literally called in their passports peasants, how can they have a pool? How can they have this? Well, Aristide was giving it to them. They saw this as, well, Aristide put it, if there was a maid in the rich person's house, and they saw that somebody in a village in Port Salut of all places was able to swim in a pool, but them and their own son working for a rich person couldn't, that makes them angry. Really, really angry. And so it scared these people, specifically scared of Aristide. The Duvalier people were scared of Aristide, yes. Something else I like to mention is behind Port Salut, there was a mountain range. It was, a pretty big mountain range. I don't know what the name of it is, but in it was like some moderately big mountains, more like hills. And there was a trading village, a trading post back there, if you will. And that post is where everybody would meet there, back from Port Salute, and they would all trade, not necessarily buying things, but like trading, food for fur, or I don't think they would have fur, but like food for building supplies or wood, or maybe wood for food. But I don't think they would give up their food. But still, he talks about that. Something else he talks about that I really didn't think about before is something he dubs the third way. So, the third way is, well, usually in a country, like if you get too poor, well, they'll all starve, right? Or maybe you'll just die out. Haitians haven't been doing that. Haiti has been facing severe poverty and starvation and violence for ever since it was created. I mean, sure, it had a lot of wealth as soon as it left France, but that was a short period of time. So almost its entire history, it was really not great for people living there. And, well, but they still survived. How do they do this? Even though their specially bred Creole pigs were murdered, the pigs that have kept Haiti's farming alive, even though every year more and more arable land sweeps away to the sea due to mudslides, even though the gang violence and horrible times they have to go through, they're still surviving in this third way that Aristide describes. Now, we're already like 17 minutes, 30 seconds into the video, so it's been a long one. But I'm going to wrap it back to the actual project now. Yeah, I know, just now. But the project was metaphorical meaning of light, the hope. These Haitians, I know I'm not supposed to be speaking on behalf of them, but at least from the book, they are hoping to, well, live a good life. But maybe that's in Haiti or abroad. Maybe it's Dominican Republic, but there's a whole lot of discrimination against Haitians there. Don't mention the border security. Same thing with the US. And, well, I don't think I need to explain that. And maybe they can go to Canada or something, right? They're trying to figure out somewhere to go to. Maybe Puerto Rico. Maybe somewhere. But they're hoping for a better life. That's the point. They need this life, and they're still, even in these harsh conditions, they're still trying to survive. Even in the most unstable and most poverty-stricken country in the entire Western Hemisphere. Let that sink in. The entire Western Hemisphere. That's a whole lot of land. And so, to wrap things up, because I know this video is very long, we're just going to do a quick summary of Aristide's presidency. So, he won. He won presidency with 67% of the vote. And, well, that's pretty good. But, sadly, after his presidency, he was soon overthrown in a coup. And I think so, yeah. It was on September 29th, 1991. And yeah, there was a coup against him. It's called the coup d'etat, I think so say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak French. I don't have a French accent. But it was baby doc supporters and Duvalier supporters that were angry about Aristide taking over because Aristide did not like the Duvalier leadership and their structure. But just because the president was changed, still, like, for the Congress and the Senate, the Duvalier people were still there. just with a new leader. So it's like good guys lost. Well, he came back for another term after his coup, and then it also got really bad. Very, very, very bad. I wouldn't say it was as bad as Duvalier, but it sure wasn't good. Poverty rates were also very, very high. And also literacy rates were also very, very low. It was still improving, but it was surely not great. So I'm going to end this off with thank you for watching. Now, I know this was a long video, and I know that I may have got a few things wrong in here, so feel free to comment and tell me what I got wrong. Because, I will take any feedback, and then I will fix this. Yeah, I'll fix it in the comments with everything I got wrong. I don't know if I'll have any, but we'll see. Now also, I'll link the sources in the description. I'll link the music in the description. And also, I know this turned out to be more of a Haitian history video than it did to be a light video. But I think it makes sense, right? Like, light is what is driving Haitians forward. Light is representing the ending point, the better place for the Haitians. At least is what I'm getting. So, the Haitians are trying to follow the light, follow this hope. Oh yeah, an example of this is voodoo. Ever heard of that? Well, that is what Haiti has been known for. There we go. Right? Yeah. It is a African culture. Now, Haiti is mostly Catholic, but it's like a mix. Like, ever heard of voodoo dolls? Yeah, they have that too. And it helps represent hope that they still have it's part of their culture. Now I'm going to stop stalling and actually end the video so I can edit this long thing. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to leave any comments. Sorry for not posting for a long time. And thank you. I will see you in the next one.